Hello and welcome to another Blokees video. This time of a DC line. I'm not typically a DC person, you guys know I do Ben 10 and Spider-Man, but with the recent DC movies being so good, I am starting to really enjoy DC now. It was never really my scene, but it's starting to really catch my attention. I also did work on one of the recent DC movies, so it has a personal connection now. Now I'm going to be starting off with the Batman Beyond. This model kit was really fun to do. You can see all the parts here. This guy is quite I don't want to say complicated, but he's more parts heavy. He's got a bit more parts to him than some of the other champion class stuff. Here's the instruction leaflet. You can see what I mean by there's a few more steps to this guy, which I quite like in a model kit. I like something that requires a bit more focus, a bit more attention. I like a little bit of a challenge with my model kits, which this gives without being too complicated. Now hopefully you could hear those clicks there. Very satisfying putting these guys together. And they come with a decent amount of stuff as well. So you can see there's a replacement back piece there if you want to take the wings off fully. There's also a grapple gun, which there is a unique hand for because it's so wide. You also get another gun which I believe is from the Arkham games, if I remember correctly, or it's a very similar design. And now moving them out the way so we can get a look at some of the smaller stuff. Here is his Batarang. I absolutely love this design. I like the metallic red on the edges. And you do get a full set of hands for him as well. So you've got his clawed hands here, which are very nice. They do have a nice sharp point, but they are rubbery, so they're not going to cut you or anything. So Batarang holding hands, and you do get one for each hand, which is something I really like about this model kit. There are a few model kits where you kind of get mixed hands, so you get one for the left hand, one for the right hand. But I'm glad we got both sets for this one. And you can see if you get it in there right, it's got a good grip on it. It's not going to fall out. It's just a case of making sure you've placed it in that hand correctly. And then here's that specialised hand for the grapple gun. You can see it's got a very wide grip on it. This one is a bit of a wedge in the hand. It's got a pretty big handle on it, so I'm glad that we've got a separate hand for it and it doesn't just have to fit in with the trigger hand. And then of course you've got the trigger hand for the gun. Now, for these two hands, you do only get them for the right hand. Batman's not left-handed, so that's perfectly fine with me. I wouldn't expect him to be dual-wielding these either. And now, let's take a look at what this model kit is actually capable of. You can see he's got some incredible wings behind him. And they are a bit heavy because they've got these mechanisms in them. You can see when you fold them out, those little spikes at the bottom also move. They're on a rail system in there. So you do have to kind of account for his posing with the weight added to his back. And with the spikes coming off the arms, you have to make sure they're not hitting the wings. But this thing just looks really nice. It's a very menacing costume for Batman. And then obviously with the gun, so because you've got those clawed hands, it does mean he can hold it with two hands. And the amount of articulation put into this model kit means he can get both hands on a gun crossing in front of him. And this model kit does look great even without the wings. I personally feel like the wings are a huge part of this design, so I like to keep them on him. And once again, you can see just how menacing this character looks. He looks very villain-like, which I kind of like for Batman since his whole thing is instilling fear in criminals. And here he is in a good crouching pose. This is how I've had him on my shelf since I put him together, and the wingtips touching down outside of him keep him nice and stable on that shelf. Overall, fantastic model kit. So now moving on to Nightwing. This might be my favourite out of the four. I don't know, I feel like there's quite a bit of competition between Batman and Nightwing here. You can see once again this is a fairly straightforward model kit. This guy, again, I enjoyed putting all these guys together, but if you're looking for a more simple one compared to Batman Beyond, Nightwing might be your one. The variation of matte black and gloss black plastic on this guy combined with the metallic blue just works really nicely. It gives him a bit more texture, a bit more definition, and I love that we're not either using all gloss or all matte. It just makes the suit feel more realistic in a sense. Now he does come with a fair share of weapons and hands. So you've got the long baton, or well, the staff I suppose. You've got the two holding hands, which you can see there. And these hands are rubbery, so they're quite easy to get the stuff into. And then you do get a mismatched pair of hands, which is my only gripe. You get one open splayed hand, which you can see on the right. And then this one is for holding his wingding, which is apparently the name that Dick Grayson chose for his version of the Batarangs, which I think is quite an interesting name. But I'm very glad that Blokees have given us a hand and a wingding, which I really like because it means you can have Dick on display holding his wingding. And as you can see, he's got a pretty tight grip on it, so that's not going anywhere. Now, I said earlier I was quite impressed with this model kit, so let's take a look at the articulation it's got. I have sped this up just so it's not too long of an articulation review. And getting the batons out there, which I forgot to show as a separate thing. The batons are separate to the staff, so he does have one long staff and the two shorter batons that clip into the sections on his back, which I really like. Now you can see there, he has really good head articulation. I am going to pop his arm off just so you can see, but he does have a bicep swivel, it's just a little bit on the tighter side, and with the shoulder pad in the way it's a little bit harder to see. But you can see good bicep articulation, good shoulder articulation, the pad gets all the way out the way, legs kick up really high and out really far. He's got a swivel built into that thigh, good knee articulation, and some really nice ankle articulation with the toe joint as well. Which means there aren't many poses that this Nightwing can't get into. This being one of them. So this I really like, this is something that I feel like any acrobatic character should be able to get into pose-wise. And Nightwing nails it. You can also see he's got the Nightwing symbol on the bottom of his feet, which is a little detail that I really like that Blokees have included there. And he feels really sturdy on that one foot. He's got quite a big sole to them, so he's fairly well planted. And here you can see with the baton and that splayed hand, there's something about a splayed hand that just adds a bit more movement to a static pose. However, it would have been nice to get both hands like that, just so we could mix and match a bit more. And then into a bit more of a crouch pose. Again, these feet doing a really good job of keeping him grounded. The toe box on, well, his toes, big enough that he can plant himself quite well. As you can tell by the fact that he's fairly stable there. Now, some model kits don't work in just like a kind of vanilla pose. This guy does. He's got a really nice stance to him and a really nice proportion, so he can just be stood there with his wingding out or with his baton in hand. And this pose is most likely how I'm going to display him, either this or a bit more crouched, a bit more action ready. And now that Nightwing's all put together, let's get on to the more almost Gundam-esque design of Harley Quinn. Now, this one I absolutely love. It reminds me of the, what are they called, Guroi girls? I know there's also the Koto Bakia Soul Hornet. Not typically my area of expertise, but I did have to get parts from those when I was doing stickbot off the grid customs, because Moonshine used parts from those. And this model kit reminds me heavily of those designs, which I love. And now she is special in the fact that she comes with these water slide decals, which is something I've never done before, but I am very looking forward to doing this at some point, because I think this is going to look great. Again reminding me a bit of the Gundam anime mechanical armor type style. Just now realising I don't actually know the name of that aesthetic. But taking a look at Harley Quinn, this model kit was actually really fun to put together as well. This is a bit similar to Batman Beyond in there's a lot of details. Obviously you've got a lot of different colour parts here. And I really like this design. This is one that I thought was going to be quite difficult to put together, but ended up being challenging in a fun way. Now, what you might notice is her red sleeve, the underside of the inside of her forearm, that red piece is on upside down, which is something I do fix towards the end. But yeah, I say it's fun and easy to put together. I somehow managed to misplace one of the parts, which is just entirely upside down, and it's quite obvious now that I'm watching this back. Now, because of how armoured this character is, her elbows are a bit limited. That metallic kind of cuff around her elbow does limit her elbow range. But you know, it's a fairly easy thing to mod. You could just cut away some material if you wanted more range out of there. And because of how high the heels are, you are going to struggle with getting that pivot into that ankle. But it is there, it's just, it takes a bit of getting used to because it's so high. Now we do get an alternate face for Harley Quinn. This one's a bit just blank, there's not a whole lot of emotion there. I prefer the other one that's on her, where you've got a bit of a side look and a smirk. And you do get these alternate feet, where they've got the rollerblades built in, which I think is really cool. Again, just more of a nod towards that armoured, mechanical style of the anime model kits that I've seen in the past. And then you get a pair of pointing hands. All these hands are made out of like a rubbery material, a pair of splayed hands, a pair of just relaxed open hands. There's a pair of fisted hands on the model kit at the moment. And then of course you get the holding hands for her massive mallet hammer jet design, which I absolutely adore this. This is such a fun little bit of kit. And the fact that there's articulation built into this as well. It reminds me a bit of Rocket's blaster from the Marvel Rivals line, which is huge, mechanical, and has a lot of detail into it. Now you can see the wings here articulate as well. They're on a ball peg. You can take them off and attach them to her hips. I'm not the biggest fan of that because it means you've then got a red piece on the blue leg. But obviously that's completely just personal preference. You can see the jets there articulate as well, and then the big fin at the top articulates. And this little blue spike piece in the front does come out, so if you didn't want it to be spiky, you can just have a flat hammer end. I feel like this works very well for the design. And if you take that out, you can swap it out for the big mallet head and have almost like a mace type thing going on. So more of a bashing weapon than a bonking weapon with this one. Now you can see me trying to make sure I'm not ruining the peg here. I was expecting there to be a flat side on the inside of it. It's not. The inside of the mace head is just round, so you can put it in on any angle you want. The mallet head does have a specific angle it needs to go in on because there is a flat cutout for it. Now this looks great, and it would be a lot easier for her to hold this part just because it's a little bit lighter. The head of this mallet does add a lot of weight, and you'll see with my posing I do have to counter that weight quite a bit. This does also look like it almost blasts out like a projectile, so if you've got a launching effect, it might be worth displaying her as if that's a projectile little missile in the front of that hammer. Now she does pose very well, despite obviously the limitations of the armor and how heavy this mallet is. I think this mallet is probably about the same weight as her torso, and obviously because it's so thin at the end, all that weight is stored in the end of it, which isn't a design flaw, that's just kind of how the design is for a mallet like this. But like I said, she does manage poses anyway. You can get her arms above her head, both hands on the handle, which is something that I really like. I was worried that that wouldn't be possible with this, but you know, fairly easy to get her into that pose as well. A display stand for this model kit would have been very, very helpful just because she is quite top heavy. However, I understand it would have been a bit strange to give her a display stand and none of the others. And you can pick up a display stand quite cheap. She does obviously pose fine without one, but for some of these it might be handy to have them in a more air-based display. Once again, you can see two hands on the handle here, and she isn't falling over too easily. You can see I am being careful not to just like put her down and let go. She will be fine on a shelf. It's not like she's going to just tip over and not be able to withstand anything. Again, she is sturdy enough. It's just that that hammer is so out of balance, you do need to account for it a little bit. Now this is one of the more Harley Quinn-esque poses I managed to get out of her, and I do really like this pose. You will notice that it only really works from this angle, because as I turn her sideways, you'll begin to see that she is tilting quite a bit onto her red side, her left, our right. And as I turn around a bit more, you'll see exactly what I mean by that. There is a bit of a weight difference between her and that mallet, so obviously you do have to take that into account while posing, which is completely understandable given the size. I just thought it was worth noting. I absolutely love this design, but now it's time to move on to the final model kit in this roster, Superman. Now this is based on the 2025 live action. This obviously isn't one of their more stylized character designs like the Harley Quinn, the Nightwing and the Batman Beyond. This is based off of a movie, an actual existing character, and a human one at that, not an animated one. And they do a really good job. So first off, we do get Krypto. Now Krypto isn't the most articulated. I feel like he was more of a throw-in as an additional piece to this model kit, because there isn't a whole lot you can do with Superman accessory-wise, so it makes sense that they would have to add something just to beef out the set a little bit more. And you do get a really nice cloth cape for Krypto. I really like this, not just a solid plastic piece. You do get some good articulation, all things considered as well. So you've got tail articulation, you've got the head swivel. You do have ball joints in these legs, but they are just at the base and they are a little bit limited because they're so sunk into the torso. That does allow you, however, to get them into a standing pose, a flying pose, and a sitting pose, which I suppose is all you really need from Krypto. But onto the main chunk of this model kit is Superman himself. Now he does have a wide cape, which I absolutely love. There are two gripes I have with it. First one being that it's not wide across the bottom, and second one that the wires don't tuck into anywhere properly. So I have super glued them to his back just so they're a bit more stable. Again, I quite like doing stop motions, and so it's important to have a solid anchor point for something that's fabric or a bit more posable like this is. So it does flap down a little bit at the back. It would have been nice to have that triangle pattern for the wire where it runs all the way across the bottom of his cape as well. But again, this is one of their smaller model kits, so I understand that not being a main feature in this. Now we do also get an alternate face for David Corenswet's Superman with the laser vision, a set of alternate hands where they're a bit more gripping, kind of like frustrated, and then just some splayed hands for flight poses more than anything, or for that Viltrumite chop if you want to go for that. One thing I do really want to touch on is the likeness to David Corenswet on this model kit. Now obviously this is a model kit, but like myself, a lot of people in the action figure community have started collecting these to put in their displays because of how good they look and because of the quality of them. And I find it really interesting that Blokees is the only one I've seen so far that has managed to almost nail David Corenswet's likeness. You can tell this is meant to be David Corenswet. I mean, the SHF one didn't really look like him at all. The McFarlane one is really dodgy. We're yet to see Mafex. I think Fonjoy got the closest out of those guys, but I would argue that this is more evidently meant to be David Corenswet. So massive props to Blokees for managing to get that likeness so close, while maintaining their own art style, because obviously the Blokees do have an almost animated style to them, and they've managed to pull it off very well. But enough about the aesthetics, let's take a look at function. So this guy does pose very well, and like I said, Krypto does pose fairly well as well. Not the star of the show, so nice to see he still poses to a degree. But you can see here, this Superman gets into most of the poses you need him to. His wrist articulation is a little outdated, it is just a ball peg that's stationary, there's no hinge like the Blokees normally do. It is just the hand fits onto a ball socket, and that is it. That's the range you're getting from this, which works completely fine. I've not had any issues with it, I think it works fairly well. And you get what you need out of this Superman, like I was saying. So you can see here with the laser vision head on as well. Now the laser vision head does remind me a bit more of the Henry Cavill look. I think that's probably because we saw him with his laser vision more. He just kind of had that dark broody aesthetic, whereas this guy's meant to be a bit more fun. And despite having liked the Henry Cavill movies, and being from the same place Henry Cavill's from, that being Jersey Channel Islands, I do have to admit, I prefer the David Corenswet Superman. And I know that not everyone agrees with that, a lot of people prefer the Snyderverse. I personally really like the route James Gunn is taking with these movies. They just feel a bit more light-hearted and enjoyable, despite tackling real-world issues. But anyway, enough about the movies, back to this model kit. You can see what I mean by it poses just as much as you need it to. It's not got an extreme rate of posing to it, but it does have what you need to get Superman into some good poses. And you can see here, you can also get him petting Krypto if you want to. I imagine you could probably get the drag effect going on as well, as if Krypto's dragging him. But he hits the flying pose. His head could do with maybe tilting up a tiny bit further, but I'm perfectly fine with this just as is. Now this is another one of the kits that might have benefited from a flight stand like Harley Quinn, but if the trade-off was either Krypto or a flight stand, I'm not sure what I'd pick. Now taking a look at all four of these beautiful model kits, you can see here there is a very set aesthetic between Nightwing and Batman Beyond, and Harley Quinn plays into that a bit, but there is a slight difference there as well. So the Batman Beyond and Nightwing go really well together. This Superman, obviously you've just seen me review him, I really like. I think that David Corenswet likeness is there. It's a lot better than some of the other stuff I've seen out there as well. The Nightwing poses beautifully. You can see he's got that really nice finish to the black. Like I said earlier, the mix of gloss and matte finish on there. And that metallic blue is really nice. It's not got a marbling in it. It just looks like a nice metallic plastic. And then Batman Beyond, again sharing the similar aesthetic to Nightwing. He's got this really nice panel lining, also the same with the gloss and matte black, and all that punchy colour showing through, which obviously works very well for a model kit and is something I really like about this set. Now moving on to Harley Quinn, this one surprised me quite a bit. The colours are also slightly pastel, which isn't picking up very well on camera, but you can see there is that slight lighter shade to them compared to the others, and I absolutely love this model. I think this works really nicely, and between her and Batman Beyond, I don't know which one is my favourite. All four are great, but those two I think are higher up for me personally. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and again, thank you so much to Blokees for sending these my way.